Hello everyone, I'm from Group 10 and I would like to present about what happened to the money stock in Japan after the pandemic. Firstly, I would like to explain four terminology that I learned through this article. The first terminology is M3, which is a measure of the money supply that includes money as well as large time deposit, institutional money market fund, short-term repurchase agreement, also known as repo, and larger liquid assets. Next, what is a bubble? A financial bubble is an economic cycle that is characterized by the rapid escalation of market value, particularly in the price of assets, and they are typically attributed to a change in investor behavior, which is quite important, and I will explain why in the possible future part. Third terminology is Consumer Price Index, CPI. The Consumer Price Index measures the average change in price over time that consumers pay for a good or service. CPI is the most widely used measure of inflation and the effectiveness of the government economic policy. Last but not least, inflation. I believe that all of you have known this terminology, but it's an important word in this article, so I would like to remind of some important notes. Inflation has two different effects to two types of people. Those with tangible assets may like to see some inflation, as it will increase the value of their assets. However, people holding cash may not like inflation, as it will decrease the value of their cash holdings. Now, let's investigate further in the situation in Japan. After the COVID-19 pandemic, Japan policy supporting business and consumer has caused the average balance of M3 to be the highest since Bank of Japan started tracking the index in April 2003. As you can see in the picture, the gap between 2003 and 2020 is enormous. So what are the reasons causing the problem? According to the article, there are four reasons. The first reason is the massive fiscal measure and sharp increase in money supply, which include nearly 100 trillion in fiscal deficit, 3 times more than in recent years. The second reason is because of the pandemic, companies and individuals start to save money more. We can see that through a weak CPI indicates the deflation. The deflation in the long term can cause a high rate of unemployment. The third reason is the BOJ and government aggressive policy to promote commercial bank lending to small and mid-sized companies. The fourth reason is government handing out 100,000 yen in cash to every resident in Japan, as well as smaller companies are availing themselves to the cash that these measures are pushing into the economy. So what are the potential impacts of the event? There are two scenarios. The first scenario, Japan's pile of cash will be used to buy things and pay for business expansion. BOJ, Bank of Japan, will wind down the extraordinary monetary easing policy easier. However, the second scenario, inflation will remain subdued, forcing BOJ to continue its extremely easy money policy for a period of time. And according to the recent situation, Japan's store of cash will flow into stock and real estate through mostly investment, indicate that stock investors believe in the second scenario to be happen, and financial bubble is likely to occur. After reading this article and compare with my knowledge of previous articles about the same situation but different way of handling the problem, I realized that because the government using money to solve a monetary problem in here, which is the financial bubble, might lead to a more troublesome problem after the post-pandemic. And learning from the Vietnamese government, Vietnam has another way to help the economy, which is control the COVID-19 situation well. This method has avoided the possibility of inflation after the post-pandemic instead of using policy like Japan or the US government. Although Vietnamese economy is not strong, however, it has some solutions which are better, I think, and we should learn from everybody's experience and not only from developed country only. Thank you for listening. If you have any question, please comment below.